Hello everybody, Phoenix61 with some World of Warships Legends shenanigans. We are in the German Tier A to Z-44 Premium Destroyer. Alright, we're gonna go in. So I don't play these ships a lot. I don't do the greatest with them for some reason. I don't know. I feel like you get a good mix of guns and torpedoes here. And with this one you don't get sonar. Some of the German destroyers get sonar, which is nice too. I like having that extra tech, right? But yeah, I mean, good ship. I'd recommend, right? So we'll send some torpedoes through the zone here, just in case we can catch a enemy destroyer off guard coming through, right? Pushing through right away right off the bat in the beginning of the game. There is only 2 destroyers on the enemy team, 2 each, right? So a good balance of ships for this one. 2 destroyers, 3 or 4 cruisers, 3 or 4 battleships, right? So, yeah, we get the extra battleship on our team. Yay! And then, yeah, so I'm going to head towards A. So the reason I'm going A this time around is because I took a look at the minimap and noticed they don't have destroyer support on this side of the map, right? So I'm going to go in, see if I can't cap the zone. Going up through on this map with this sort of zone layout, right, going up the middle is a little bit risky and challenging, right? Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it works out, but the safe bet is to either hold your ground up by where you spawn for a little bit, which you don't really normally want to do as a destroyer. Like, I don't really enjoy that. And then, or split one way or the other, right? So I'm gonna go to A because the C side has a destroyer of their own, right? So we can get in, help with this capture, and help spot for our teammates, which are a lot of cruisers on this side, right, if you look behind us on the minimap. And they're going to want to try and stay out of spotting range, right? So we run into Illusion, and I should have been paying more attention to what destroyers we were up against, right? Because he has the crazy long-range sonar, so he can basically sit in his smoke, let that sonar just tear through us, and yeah, and then we'll die. But we do get close enough to him, either that or somebody radared or something, but we got within that 2-kilometer range eventually, and we was able to pick him up. So once we, we held off firing our guns here so that other ships wouldn't pick us up from as far as a spotting perspective, and then we get a little bit lucky with our epic torpedo launch. Right, we were just so close to him that he, even with his sonar going, right, he wasn't able to dodge all of our torpedoes, right? So I think maybe both of us probably pressed in a little too quickly, right? I would think more so him, because like he should have seen that we were capping the zone before he got in, right? So he knew we were in there, and he probably should have had his sonar going sooner. Right as you notice that the enemy is capping the zone, right? Trip that, especially if you're going in too, right? So that worked out for us there. We will try and remain unspotted. We don't have a lot of health left, right? Everybody saw us and wanted to kill us instantly, because that's the smart thing to do. Get those destroyers off the board right away as soon as possible, right? But yeah, so now we'll back up. We'll see if we can't, everybody, the one cruiser that was kind of close to us looks like he's turned away. Yep, he's moving away. So we can back up and just spot for our team at this point, and then kind of pick and choose where we want to send some torpedoes. I think, especially with the carrier update, spotting, airplanes can't spot ships anymore. So at least to the degree where you can lock onto them and shoot them, right? So now, like, the meta has changed, right? Like, the destroyer spotting as a destroyer has suddenly become more important, right? Just as if carriers didn't exist before, right? So I think there's something to be said about a good destroyer player, this sort of unsung hero, kind of doing what we're doing, right? Allowing a lot of our teammates to hide behind an island and just lob shells, lob bullets at all these enemy ships that are kind of out in front of us, right? So, but we have pretty decent range on these torpedoes. This is a little bit better than some of the other German destroyers, I think. And so we'll just kind of circle around, keep everybody spotted, and send torpedoes at whoever we think we can send torpedoes at, right? And then I'm going to start making our way over towards D to try and get that zone capped as well. We can kind of do double duty here. We don't need to just sit still, do nothing, just to spot everybody. We can multitask, right? So we'll head to D. We'll have to keep an eye on this Baltimore. I think Baltimore's got radar, right? So just have to keep that in mind. We could probably not survive being spotted again if the same thing's going to happen like last time where everybody shot at us all at once, right? So we'll err on the side of caution. We do have both smoke screens left. And just, yeah, eyeing everybody up, seeing who might be a potential torpedo target. And so we took out one destroyer and somebody else finished off the other guy. So it looks like, you know, looking at the minimap, our team has, you know, a decent situation going on over at sea. Got a mines out here. Yeah, you just like see how much of their team is spotted at the moment, right? Like that's just keeping people spotted, especially when you have lots of cruisers, like that's huge. We're being a good little boy destroyer tonight, right? I think too, like with, you know, with the situation that happened to us with the Lucian right in the beginning, you know, now I'm sort of forced to be a little bit more defensive, right? So it kind of makes sense to do some grunt work on your team, right? Like go, you know, you're low on health, you're a fast moving destroyer with, you know, good concealment, right? Drive around, cap zones, spot people, right? Like just stay alive and just help out your team, right? So you're a little bit more of a support at this, you know, in this scenario, right? So, but yeah, we keep having bad luck with our torpedoes, but we are kind of firing that, you know, we're giving them there's a lot of time between us and when the torpedoes actually get to them, so there's a lot of time for, you know, when you're at range, there's more chance that they're going to change direction. They probably know we're here too, right? They see the zone getting capped, right? So people just aren't being stupid. Bunch of jerks. And then we did notice this one battleship's getting close to us, so we did pop the smoke screen. I think the Hawk has torpedoes of his own. And then, yeah, you can see now that we're in the smoke, and none of their team is spotted, so we were doing all that spotting work. Classic. One time I need to go undetected, guys. Somebody could help me out a little bit. And then I'm assuming this Hawk is moving towards us, right? Because that's what he was doing when we set our smoke. So I'm going to start moving away, just to be safe. I'm going to assume that he's barreling into my smoke. And we were kind of sort of wrong, right? he decided not to risk it. So we can continue to maintain control here. But yeah, that was my thought behind me. I was like, I haven't spotted him in a while. We haven't seen him in a while. He might be just trying to push in and pick us up and finish us off, right? Sent more torpedoes out. Hopefully we get a hit on him. There we go. 3. Nailed it. With flood? No, I put the flood out. They're capping my zone, my a-hole over there. Alright, so we got more torpedoes headed towards the Hawk too. If we can get that flood on him, he'll probably die from flooding. Got it. Alright, we'll send towards the Atlantico. Then we got 2 cruisers out here on the enemy team that are just kind of barreling, running away, right? Going defensive. Which, like, I don't blame them, right? Like, we've taken over all the zones. That one cruiser that's in A is just, on their team, is just not going to last long, right? Like, I don't even know how much health he has. I mean, you can kind of see him over on the right, but he's going to get picked on because he's kind of deep in friendly territory, right? In his enemy's territory, right? So, might get some hits on this Atlantico, at least 1 or 2. Boosh, boosh, and now he's dead, right? So, their team's just kind of crumbling and collapsing. So I'll head out towards these cruisers, right? It's only their 3 cruisers left. So I'll head out towards these guys. At this point, sometimes with these types of games, I'm just trying to help the game progress and end sooner, right? So we'll see if we can't just get these guys spotted. We are way up on points, so we're about to win on points here. But yeah, my thought process here is just go out, get them spotted, let our cruisers and battleships be able to shoot them. But then sometimes I'm not paying attention to time or points, right? So we could have just been shooting just to try and get some extra hits for some extra points and XP, right? That does put us at the top of the leaderboard with 2,600 XP. Always, you know, capping zones and doing objectives always helps out a lot with XP. I think, you know, if you're like, you know, good players get a lot of damage, but great players, I think, are towards the top of the leaderboards, right, with as far as XP, right? So this is how I have the commander loadout built. Base trait for this guy is smoke, right, but I do torpedo damage and then destroyer main gun HE shell damage. You know, thoughts and feelings, opinions that you guys have, you know, put them in the comments, let me know. I do tend to try things out that you guys suggest, because a lot of times you're smarter than me, right? And then, since we do, you know, I kind of am a little more torpedo focused when I play destroyers, unless it's an absolute gun machine. So we do reload time there. And then torpedo detectability, right? This is kind of a unique one for this commander, right? It makes your torpedoes a little bit harder to spot, and then also gives you some added concealment. So I went with that. And then, of course, I'm almost always using Unstoppable for my destroyer builds. I really enjoy having a little bit of mobility when you get, you know, rudder or engine damage, right? So it is just like, it's too easy for it to happen to a destroyer too. Like, it's like you'll damage con it, and then it's like the next hit you get, like, it has engine damage again, right? So I love me some Unstoppable for legendary perk. Right, okay, so that is our video for today, guys. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate followers. That helps me out a lot. That helps motivate me to keep going with more and more videos. Yeah, we do lots and lots and lots and lots of World of Warships Legends, right? So, yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you next time.